Hi, my wise astrology tribe. This is Cosmic Insight Astrology. I am your co-pilot, Christina. If you would like to have a personal reading with me, please check out www.urbanreach.org. All right, today we will talk about the lunar eclipse in Scorpio. And it's going to be a blood moon lunar eclipse, and it's going to appear in the sky May 16th, 14 minutes after midnight in Miami time, in Florida EST time. So what I wanted to talk about, actually, I would like to explain you what is blood moon representing. Blood moon, when the moon appears to be like blood orange, and actually it's the illumination of the sunlight. And this is a full moon eclipse. Eclipse itself, so we are really between right now the eclipse sandwiches. So the energy is like very karmic, very distinct. And what we have right now, we have an axis between Taurus and Scorpio. So the lunar eclipse itself, when it's like a full moon on steroids. Scorpio representing ending itself, representing a death and rebirth. The eclipse and the full moon also representing ending. So there is definitely in our destiny to have some kind of karmic deals to get rid of, to end, and we're going to move forward without looking ever back in the past. And you know, I would like to definitely deliver a uplifting message, and I like to wrap everything in comforting blanket for us all, but somehow I feel this eclipse is going to be very transformative for all of us, and it's going to be really heavy on our soul. So let's see, we talked about the blood moon. Right now, I'm going to also talk about, it is going to happen in Scorpio, 25 degrees and 18 minutes. Scorpio representing rebirth, representing death, representing other people's money, every kind of money that is not, we didn't work for. So it could be inheritance, it could be loans, banks, representing the whole entire worldly financial system. And with this eclipse, actually, it could end something that we can bypass banks, for example. But 25 degrees, 18 minutes, actually, it's the third decan. And which means like it's starting with Scorpio, that's the present, actually the past, the first decan. The present is going to be Piscean decan, that is the second 10 degree, and the third 10 degree is Cancerian decan. So this eclipse is going to happen in Cancerian decan. But numerology wise, 25, if you add together the two numbers and decrease it for one digit, that's numerology, then it's representing number 7, which is a Neptunian energy. So it's representing Pisces. So in this eclipse, actually, you have the whole 3 water sign represented. So, you know, in actually tarot cards, Scorpio representing death here and rebirth, and the planet Pluto, which rules Scorpio, represented by the Judgment card, and the ancient, the original Lord of Scorpio actually is Mars, which is representing the Tower, by the Tower in Tarot. Look at those cards. Those are pretty much devastating. Judgment is coming into our lives through karma. We are living our karma. right now we are capable to reborn. And you know, Scorpio has a tendency, like Scorpio is representing 3 stages in our life. The first stage is very scorpionic and represented by the animal Scorpio, but can actually sting itself. So it's a really destructive energy, and it's harm itself sometimes. The second one is represented by the eagle. The eagle is really intellectual and wise spirit animal. So it is like representing healing in our life. So we did some kind of destructive, demolishing habit we had perhaps in the past, which actually hurt ourselves, and we hurt ourselves. But right now the healing is coming into our life. And the third one is the phoenix bird, and phoenix is coming from ashes and actually rebirth from ashes. So what's happening? We hurt ourselves with the behavior, but we practiced every single day. It could be alcoholism, it could be any kind of, well, alcoholism is Neptunian energy, but because of it is ruled by 25 degrees Neptune, ruled by Neptune, so it could be something with alcoholism, but definitely some kind of destructive energy over here. We hurt ourselves. And then we get some kind of information by the eagle. So the help came through and intellectual opportunities. And then we're going to reborn with Phoenix together. All right, so let's move forward. What I wanted to tell over here. So that is like even by the tarot card, it says it's a very destructive energy that comes on us right now. And you know, full moon and new moon. So actually, the new moon is always when the sun and the moon is dancing together in heaven. It's conjuncting, it's merged together. And the sun is a male energy, the moon is a female energy. And what does the moon do? The moon is the fastest planet in the solar system, and actually it runs away from its lover. And when it's opposite sign, that is representing the full moon. So they are not in harmony, they are in opposition. And right now, the eclipse is happening actually in Taurus, which is a very earthy sign and fixed sign. And then in Scorpio, which is also very fixed and stubborn, and they don't want to initiate changes, those two signs, but a water sign full of emotion and very deep, very, very deep. Scorpio is extremely deep. So what's happening over here? So that is a full moon eclipse. So it's going to be opposition, the sun and the moon, and it's going to actually create a T square with Saturn. What is Saturn in our life? Saturn is discipline. Saturn is government. Saturn is limitation. Saturn is delay. So a lot of people fear of Saturn. Somehow I claim those Saturnian energy, and I kind of started to work with them, because Saturn is always giving us gift if we are willing to work hard. So, but this T square on this eclipse is going to be extremely hard. Look at that. For example, South Node is actually conjuncting with the moon in heaven. South Node is also letting go of something, getting rid of detoxification, defecation, because let's say that Scorpio rules the sewer system, rules the getting rid of the feces and pooping. So it is detoxification of your body, for example. So what's going to happen here with this Saturn square? Scorpio also rules miscarriages, abortions, pregnancies. Saturn is the government. So whatever happening right now with this abortion situation in America, like they are not willing to let women to decide for their own body, it is going to come to surface. There is going to be a lot of protest, for example, but Saturn wants to limit. So it's a limitation women rights here. Let's see if it's going to be any kind of energy that's going to support this system. So because of Uranus is in Taurus, where the sun gonna be, because the sun is opposing this moon, that's how it's creating full moon. Uranus is the rebel, but it's not that close right now to this eclipse. It's still conjuncting, however, because 16 degrees and 25 degrees, it's like the sun is 12 and half. So it's, no, the sun is 17 Uranus. It's 12. Yeah, it's still conjuncting. It's getting, yeah, but it's a very wide conjunction. So the rebellion, I think people are going to be weak, or they're going to be afraid to protest, unfortunately. So unfortunately, I feel like the government will win in this case right now, at least right now. It's not going to be permanent, but right now with this abortion laws, unfortunately. So what else could happen? So this is a T-square, that is like delays. So, and you know, look at Vesta. Vesta is the eternal flame. It is loyalty as well, and it is investment as well. And Vesta actually conjunct with Saturn here in Aquarius, and Aquarius is a humanitarian sign, and it's ruled originally by Saturn, so it feels home over there. It governs this sign, but Vesta going to give some kind of hope, some kind of possibilities. Actually, whatever law they're going to make later on, it will be possible to change that, because the eternal flame representing like I'm gonna have passion forever to fight actually for my rights. And Vesta is very feminine energy as well. All right, let's move forward. So look at where is Sun. Sun is also 25 degrees 18 minutes, like it's an exact opposition when the eclipse happening. It's going to conjunct with North Node, so it's a very future oriented and opportunistic possibility could come through, or could actually have some kind of, the sun is shining on some kind of secret. For example, Sun is squaring with Saturn. Saturn is government, and because of the eclipse is ruled by Pluto, which is secret around sexuality, around rape, around human trafficking or sex trafficking. Actually, some kind of secret could surface with this eclipse as well. It's coming out from nowhere. And the sun going to conjunct with the fixed star Algol. Well, Algol originally was a virgin. It is the Medusa, but she was a virgin. She was in the temple of Pallas Athene. She was beautiful, but she got raped. And she got raped by Poseidon, by Neptune. Right? We all think, oh, Pisces is a beautiful sign. And look at that, Neptune, the ruler, the second ruler of the Pisces, is actually was a raper and raped Algol. And she became evil. Why? Because actually, when she got raped, she lost her virginity. So she had to leave the temples. And she became very bitter, and she became really, there was a lot of anger and resentment, and she had a serpent hair. So her hair became like a lot of snakes coming out from the head. So everybody got scared from her when they looked at her, and they all become stones. So in astrology, 26 degree Algol, it resides in Taurus, and right now 25 degrees 18 minutes. So they conjunct with Sun. So actually it is just confirming the whole situation, this Plutonian eclipse, like Algol got raped. So something coming out actually by government powerful figures who were in position to raping or human trafficking, and it's going to light Sun. It's going to light some kind of lights on this situation. So the secret is coming out and emerging. And what else could happen here? So Actually, in Vedic astrology, I wanted to mention that Algol, it's not all bad. Algol also representing wealth, and it's representing like the evil eye. It keeps you away from evil eye, because if anybody is looking at Algol, becomes stone. So yeah, Algol could keep away the devil, the evil eye from you. It's protecting the feminine, it's protecting women actually, or sex trafficked people, or raped people. What else could happen here? So Algol, because of representing in Vedic astrology wealth and abundance as well, this eclipse, because it's happening in Taurus, Taurus is comfort, Taurus is luxury. Taurus ruled by Venus, and Venus has two sides. Venus is the yin and yang, has the beauty side, and Venus has the material side, the money. And Pluto also other people's money. So it's definitely going to create some kind of devastating situation around the financial institution globally, around the bank system. As I said, it could be like a lot of bank going to keep money of the people who has money in, and it's gonna disappear, for example. Or it could be like we're gonna bypass eventually a bank system. However, right now, if you had invested in crypto, or if you had any kind of investment, the stock market going to have a devastating crash at this moment. Later on, it will come back. It's going to be actually great to buy right now, if you want to, because later on in 5-6 months, it's going to swing back on. So, but if you had money in, you might going to experience losses. Also, I wanted to talk about Eros over here. Eros is an asteroid, like it's representing Cupid. It's very sexual, sensual, your animalistic desire. So that is also a sexual energy. And with Algol, who got raped, definitely there are going to be a lot of situation around abortion, around raping, around sex trafficking. Algol actually is also considered with the mob. Or so I'm waiting for some kind of news, like, okay, they're going to capture a lot of mob member, or they're going to decapitate people, like, you know, like it could be well, Pluto is desert, so it's representing actually Arabic or Muslim culture as well. So it could be also like, you know, it's going to be some kind of activity, like, and because it's squaring with Saturn and Mars was conjuncting in April 4th over here. So most likely it's like multiple terror attacks, but they're going to capture the attackers and they're going to decapitate them, or, you know, like put them to places, or justice is coming in their life. However, it is heavy, but we do have some kind of really good aspect over here that we can look forward. And I see collectively, if we hold hands together, we are going to be capable to overcome these difficulties. And look at that. So for example, the moon, which is ruled by Scorpio, because it's a Scorpio eclipse, actually it's sextiling with Pluto, which is the new avatar of Scorpio, right? Because Mars is the old avatar and Pluto is the new one. Pluto is in retrograde, but it's still sextiling. So it is a positive energy. It is like, okay, there is a possibility to get our power back, and not giving away our power, not let people to think for us, not let people to act for us. So that is a beautiful opportunity over here. And what is going to happen? This Plutonian energy actually going to trine with the Sun and North Node. So what could happen that is future oriented. When Sun, North Node and Algol, well, Algol is, you know, like a little bit devastating, but it is a trining energy. That's why I said it's going to shed some light on secrets and on sex trafficking. I really going to wait for a news like, okay, there is a lot of people get in prison, for example, and get captured, whoever were into that kind of institution where children were trafficked or even adults. So I do wait for that, and I would be really happy for it. Then this Sun, Algol and North Node also going to sextile with Neptune. So Neptune is lies. And with this sextile, it could be, and Mars going to actually conjunct with Neptune, start to conjunct with it. So what's going to happen here? So some kind of lies, some kind of will surface. All right. What else did I write over here? Saturnian energy. Okay, let's talk about actually the remedies and how can we help this very, very hard, difficult process here. So Saturn, because it's going to create a T-square, it's coming from the west, actually. And then the Sun is always from the east, and Pluto is coming from south. So actually Mars coming from south, but Mars also rules Scorpio, and I didn't ever find where Pluto is coming from. That's why, because of west and south, I put together, then you can do some kind of altar on southwest right now in Feng Shui wise. And west, actually, it's right now we have a flying star, the burglary flying star, which is coming from the west. And Saturn is over there, and Saturn is delays, and Saturn is a destructive energy from there. So what you can do actually on this eclipse, you can go outside if you have opportunity and walk in the grass and barefoot. It would be really good. Or because it's squaring, you can actually to have some kind of remedy for this square, you can actually donate to people. For Saturn, you donate for people who are handicapped and who are actually disabled physically. And with this kind of Plutonian aspect, which is going to be very difficult, we can donate to people or women or men who've been raped, who've been sex trafficked, and then it would help for you, and it would help collectively actually to release that energy. And how else can you release that energy? So you can actually have some kind of remedies with let's see, Scorpio, you know what? It rules the sewer system, and it rules or detoxification. So actually you can use some kind of laxative, or you can start to do colon cleansing or enema, and it's going to help you to get rid of the toxin easier. And that is also a remedy for this kind of eclipse and eclipse energy. You can also use, for example, in your house, because it's the plumbing system. In your house, you put in every kind of drainer, like baking soda with vinegar, and pour hot water on it. So that is also like cleaning out the tubes, and it's helping to get rid of that kind of very heavy, very muddy, murky energy. So Feng Shui wise, it's really uplifting the energy in your house and in your body. So do an enema, do a colon cleansing around that time. Fasting on Sunday, all day Sunday until Monday morning, it would be very, very beneficial for the body. All right, and laxatives as well, if you want to. So, For Scorpio, actually, the topaz and the yellow topaz, it's its own magical stone, and it rules actually the solar plexus chakra. So the solar plexus chakra, it's around your umbilical cord, and that's your life force, your life energy. So for example, you need some kind of uplifting from, and you want to focus from this kind of destructive energy, then just have some yellow topaz or have some stone in your pocket, or a bracelet from yellow topaz. And also Scorpio rules the obsidian. You can have some kind of black obsidian around you to get rid of that kind of negative, obsessive energy. And labradorite, I like labradorite because of the color. It's really beautiful. So I would like to, you to use those kind of crystals and gemstones. So yes, and herbs, let's talk about herbs a little bit. So actually nettle or any kind of cactus, so aloe vera. Aloe vera actually would be amazing to use that on your skin or to help you with actually even cleansing out your colon. So you can drink some aloe vera as well. And as well, nettle tea. Nettle tea is really good to blood cleansing, and it's great for allergies as well. I use it for allergies. Also for cleansing, because you have to get rid of the energy, either you can drink sage tea or sage your house and sage around. And I also use for black salt, black Hawaiian sea salt around my house, and I go around and chanting and get rid of that kind of murky negative energy over here. I also wanted to talk a little bit about the eclipses. I don't know, like eclipse is always coming in pairs, and it's coming with a new moon, which is the solar eclipse. It could be partial or total, and it is coming with a full moon, lunar eclipse. So in a year, you can have actually 4 to 6 or 8 eclipses sometimes, but it's very rare when we have 8. Last year we had actually 6 eclipses, and it was really, really devastating. So the eclipses are coming in pair. Usually those are shocking, unexpected news, but it's like very sudden changes in our life. And solar eclipses, usually it's new beginnings. It is like a marriage proposal or an unexpected pregnancy coming into our life, but it's all there coming energy. It's changing your life drastically, and it's unexpected, but usually it's a new beginning. Unfortunately, lunar eclipses are endings. It could be a drastic and losses in our life. So right now we have lunar eclipse, and we have like a free steroid shot of lunar eclipse. Why? Because we do have South Node conjuncting with this eclipse, Scorpio and full moon, it's free shots, and it's all opposing Algol, which is also devastating, and it's create a T-square with Saturn. So actually it's like 5 steroid shots. So the news that's going to come out, and it's not happening right away on the eclipse, as I said. This eclipse could affect us for half year to 18 months, because let's face it, the eclipses in one sign, actually in an axis, and which is right now started last year, November, Taurus, Scorpio, it's gonna be until 2023 November. So until then, this change is coming into our life, this kind of destruction, this kind of elimination, getting rid of things, losing people unexpectedly, like oh my God, my mom was healthy, and just one day to another, I don't have her anymore. So city friends are leaving, and it could be, or financial institution, because let's face it, Scorpio is financial institution. Taurus rules the second house, or money, what we were working for. What we were working for, we put that in a bank, and the bank keeps it. So that kind of devastating situation could come up. Yes, but so as I said, the new moon eclipse, which is solar eclipse, it's usually a great beginning, and the full moon eclipse, it's usually an ending, and it's a devastating news. Also, because of Scorpio also rules surgeries. I would never advise to have elective surgeries during this time. If you can, please reschedule. If you can't, that's your decision. And I always tell everyone, we still have free wills. So we do have destined karmic situation in our life that is over here. One part is your surroundings, your circumstances. One part is your genes, your body. You can change those, and one is the karmic. But karmic always pay off the debt. So the remedies, what I said, pay and give money actually to people who've been raped or sex trafficked, or give money to Saturnian energy to people who are in wheelchairs, for example, buy wheelchairs to other people. So that's going to pay off your karmic debt. So that's what you can do. And if you can, drink nettle teas or aloe vera, or put a little bit of aloe vera in your bathtub, or even black sea salt to get rid of this kind of murky, very, very heavy energy. So definitely it's going to be some kind of end cycle in our life. Okay. What else wanted to say? Actually, I want to go a little bit sign by sign over here, and I'm not going to talk a lot because you can check back to my videos. And I was talking about the eclipse previously, but right now I'm going to start out with Aries, and look at that here, Aries, where the eclipse is going to happen for you. So it's going to be in your 2nd house and 8th house. 8th house is bank, death, rebirth, institution, other people's money, loan, and pregnancy, miscarriages, abortion, you know, like everything around, for example, your reproductive system. And the 2nd house, your values, your valuables, your jewelry, that is the money that you were working for. So when it's in opposition over here, it's representing like inflation. So I had, for example, $400,000 in bank. I had cash in the bank, and the inflation going to take half of it, or even more. It could represent that. It could also represent with Algol, you know, like, and Uranus is close to it. Uranus in Taurus could be some kind of devastation, and the 2nd house is garden, could represent garden, the earth. Uranus in Taurus, some kind of devastating natural disaster. So it could represent I'm losing money because of some kind of natural disaster for Aries here. Okay. I'm only going to talk about the eclipse, and the eclipse is pretty much right now, it's not the best news. You know what, now I'm going to also mention over here what else can it do. So it's going to actually trine with Pluto for you in 10th house, and it's going to sextile with Pluto, the moon in 10th house. That is and Pluto is in retrograde. Actually, it could bring back for you a job, a career opportunity. So that's the good news out of everything. Yes, it could be a loss in your financial institution, but somehow it could bring back a career opportunity for you. All right. And Saturn, because I mentioned the T-square for you Aries, Saturn is in your 11th house. Eclipse is in your 8th house. Lunar eclipse, it could eclipse out a friend, unfortunately. So it doesn't necessarily have to mean death, but death to you, for example. All right, let's go actually to Taurus. And Taurus, it's going to happen in your 7th and in your 1st house, the eclipse. And then Pluto is going to the 9th, Saturn is going to your 10th, and then Mars and Neptune gonna conjunct in your 11th house, and in your 12th house going to be Venus and Jupiter. Venus and Jupiter is love to be in 12th house because Jupiter rules 12th house Pisces and Venus is exaltation in Pisces. But it's in Aries right now, so it's an initiator over here. In your first house, so that is something around your self-esteem. So you have to actually build up and rebuild with this kind of, for example, Taurus is, you could be one of the person who could have been ashamed sexually, or it could be something with ashamed by a business partner or a marriage partner. Because Algol is conjuncting with the sun over here, and it could be also something like my self-esteem. I need to build up my self-esteem because maybe I'm going to relieve a childhood trauma because I've been abused or sexually abused or raped in childhood, and I'm gonna relieve that somehow. And then, because of maybe somebody, a friend, a business partner, one-on-one, or a significant other going to support something but I'm not aligned with, and that's why I'm going to relieve that kind of very heavy energy, and I'm going to need to rebuild my self-esteem. But it could create, like, you know what, who didn't support me or who has different opinion. It could be husband, wife, or it could be like a one-on-one friend, definitely not group, or it could be business partner, but they supporting, for example, this abortion law. Then I'm just gonna get rid of this person. I don't need them in my life anymore. I'm gonna eclipse them. All right, so this sun is going to actually trine with Pluto, first house and ninth house. So it representing like I'm going to revisit a foreign place I wanted all the time, and over there I'm going to go through some kind of transformation. This could be some kind of energy which is like bringing back the definitely very deep transformation. You know, many times when I see Pluto in ninth house, but I know it's in Capricorn, so Capricorn is government or, you know, structures, but I could say like you can revisit a place where you can do transformation, and it's like a very deep healing here, but it could be an ayahuasca treatment or some kind of spiritual which is going to give me self-confidence. Pluto could be also like, okay, I need to go to the psyche, I need to go to a therapist, very psychologist, it's also a psychologist. So I'm going to have actually a psychologist who going to help me here and get rid of that kind of emotional trauma that I experienced previously before. And it's also going to sextile with Moon over here. So that eventually the person who created that issue and who I could have a fallout with, that person who hurt me because of didn't have the same values or morals or opinion about certain topic, and it could be some kind of sexual trauma topic, then eventually going to come around and we can talk about that and going to apologize. So that is a healing process over here for you. All right. Jupiter in 12th, it is like emotional blockages with Venus, like loving people around you, retreat, going to an island and have some kind of retreat and helping to heal. All right, let's see Gemini, you guys. So what's gonna happen here? Gemini, Pluto is in your 8th, Moon is in your 6th, 9 is Saturn and Pisces and Neptune and Mars actually in your 10th house, and then we're going to have Venus and Jupiter in your 11th house, and this eclipse is gonna happen in your 6th and 12th house. So actually that it has to be something, an emotional blockage that you need to heal. And let me see Gemini. So Mercury is in retrograde in your first. The eclipse is happening here. Algol is here in your 12th house. That is an emotional blockage. That is anxiety, panic attacks, right? And then I figured out what is wrong, but what is holding me back, and actually that is some kind of emotional anxiety or panic attack. So I'm going to take care of that and I cannot get healed. Or it could be some kind of health issues, but I'm going to eclipse out the health issues. So it was present in my life for a long time. And it's also give me panic and fear. And because of I already going to know, I get a healing opportunity here. Eclipse out, it's also, actually for Gemini, it's eclipsing out the illness. And that's why I'm going to get here. Sun over here, like giving you an opportunity also to get mentally healed here. But it's creating a T square here with Saturn. Saturn is study, higher education, not Saturn, but ninth house. And Saturn over there, it is like, okay, because I'm going through a healing, I won't have time to finish my master's. So I need to delay traveling, and I need to delay studying because I have to concentrate on my emotional well-being, and I have to concentrate on my physical body. So that's what it is for you, Geminis. Let me see, Cancers. So Cancers, Mercury gonna go to your 12, and the eclipse gonna happen actually your 5th and 11th house axis. And for you guys, so 11th house is friends, and it's new friends, and it's like unusual friends even. Yeah, so Cancers, yes, unusual friends also. And it could be also some kind of investment, and it could be some kind of investment in energy. But because you have that eclipse, and this is the 5th house also investment, it could create a situation where you lose on some kind of energy investment. But it's bringing you in new friends, and it's shining light actually on some kind, yeah, it's bringing you in new friends. Over here, that is like romance, that is children, that is creativity. So definitely there is going to eclipse out some kind of creative project. You won't have time to finish it right now. You won't be able to concentrate on it. And Saturn here in the 8th house, it could represent you will have to concentrate on a father figure, for example, or some kind of structured bank system. And that is a financial institution over here, and government, so some kind of tax issues. And that's why it's creating actually some kind of square, because of you're not going to have time for your children, because you have to solve this issue with Saturn here. So it's going to give you less time with your children, this eclipse. All right, and what else? Yeah, so Neptune and Mars in your 9th, it is like I'm going to be impulsively buy a ticket to abroad, and I cannot travel because I have enough from everything and I don't want to stay still. That is in 12th house, that is an advice, a psychological advice or a spiritual advice from someone who not necessarily giving you the best advice. So you have to revisit here whoever gave you advice, and you know, because Mercury is in retrograde, it's miscommunication, it's misbelief. And 12th house is your also your spiritual house as well. And 12th house also hospital. So if it is like some kind of issue with hospitals, or putting my mother in a nursing home, or father, or whatever, revisit that because you got the wrong information over here. Okay, let's see. Leos for you, it's in your 4th house and 10th house. It's eclipsing out a job for you, perhaps a career and a home situation. So you might going to start to actually, it's eclipsing a home opportunity out, so you might going to change home, and it's unexpected. It's a new opportunity coming up. And why? Because the sun is over here in opposition, because you get a new career, you get a new opportunity to start some kind of new work. And Algol is there, so you might even going to start a work with helping to people who had some kind of abuse in their life, who been mistreated, who been, mistreated and misjudged. So you might going to have as kind of psychology work there. Okay, then moving, because of my work is in another town, another city, another country. and I have to move for that. So the house I don't like anymore, and I just want to move it out from my life. Saturn in your 7th house, it could finally good a completion for you to get rid of maybe an ex, or it started a divorce already, but that's the completion is coming. It could be a boyfriend, it could be a husband or wife or girlfriend, whatever. It's already started in the past, but right now you get the completion. I'm done. It's behind me. And the 6th house, Pluto is in retrograde. The gate 6th house is your head. Pluto could be like, you know what? Let me recheck my ovary, my womb, because something over there, the reproductive system, something over there needs some kind of medical attention. And that could be that for you. All right, Virgos. Let's go to Virgos. That's the 3rd house and 9th house axis for you, Virgos. So 9th house is older siblings, 3rd house is younger siblings. It could mean like a fight between my siblings, right? Or fight between, like even a cousin could be, or friend, but a younger friend over here. And I'm not talking to that person anymore. My neighborhood is changing because somebody is moving out from my neighborhood. Or yes, it's just eclipse out some kind of neighbors from me. And 9th house, it is like, okay, I need to concentrate more on my older siblings or on traveling, or I need to have some kind of travel plan right now because it would uplift my spirit. 9th house is also education, and with Uranus, I'm getting an opportunity. I thought I didn't get into, and you know, North Node actually was conjuncting here with from May 12th till May 15, conjunct with Sun in your 9th house. So that is an opportunity for higher education, publishing. But the writing project is out, and it's not because it's writing here, but it's not necessarily out because I can't finish it, because I have finished it, so I don't have to take more time on this writing, so I can create publication already. So that's good if we are checking that positive aspect for you guys. And with Saturn T-square, Saturn is your vertebrae, bone, teeth. And you know, there is a square over here. So it could be, and the 3rd house actually representing something here in your neck or chest or collarbone. And it could be like, okay, you know, you can break your collarbone, or you can, or your ribs, a rib break could happen also. But it also could means like Saturn is limitation. So for example, a hypothyroidism could happen as well. Or it could be Saturn and Moon square, and Saturn in your 6th house. You know, Saturn Moon square usually could create tumors, and breast is represented by Moon. So and that's, you know, how many million people is with actually Virgo rising or Virgo sun, a lot. So don't worry about that. Not every Virgo has to go to check, but I'm talking about maybe it's time for you to go to have an ultrasound or a mammogram in your breast, because it could create some kind of issue, breast issue. Okay, let me see Libras. So Libras, it's going to happen in your 2nd and 8th house. All right. So 2nd and 8th house, you also have, because you know, Libra and Aries, same house, but just the opposite sign, because that's their axis. So you're going to have similar, like Aries has, but actually you're going to eclipse out an earning, and you're going to create some kind of investment opportunity. So the earnings is something what you didn't earn enough, and then you are like, okay, I'm gonna go big, I'm gonna invest money, and maybe I'm gonna invest in some kind of you know, electricity or the Pluto. Let me see, 8th house is also security systems. This is internet, so some kind of security company, like security system company, or it could be like electricity company or something like that. You can invest in there as well. Okay, 4th house Pluto here, it's sextiling with this. So I'm going to create energy. So because of I'm going to give up some kind of earnings here, because it didn't serve me, didn't go anywhere. That's why I'm going to have more time with family. So Pluto in family in the fourth house, it means like some kind of deep, it could be actually getting rid of stuff in my home. Pluto, it is like getting rid of, giving away, donation as well, in fourth house. So it could be like, you know what, there is a lot of destructive energy. I don't need like 200 coats. I need only 2, and the rest of it I'm giving away. So it's actually giving you, lifting up the energy in your home. All right, and Pluto is going to actually trine with this Sun and fourth house and eighth house. Yes, that is an inheritance would come in for you, Libras. All right, Scorpios, it's going to be your first house. And actually Saturn in your fourth house squaring with it, first and fourth, seventh house, the axis of this eclipse. Seventh house, it is your partner. And then Scorpio, you have the first house, the eclipse. So you have to get rid of some kind of, you have to peel your ego. You have to get rid of some kind of self-doubting or self-lying. Your body is going through transformation. It could be because of, if you are a female, it could be create some kind of menopause or hormonal, or, you know, just young girls getting that period, or, you know, even for men, like hormonal changes in the body, testosterone difficulties in the body. And seventh house is your significant other, so you're going to pay more attention to your significant others here. You're going to pay more attention. But Algol there, it could mean like your significant other could have been harassed sexually. Algol, you know, she was raped. So you will need to pay attention for your significant others, because she could have been harassed at work or in her business. All right, so it's going to actually trine with Pluto in third house. So it is like communication will be very important to transform your relationship. Or, you know what, maybe your significant others have been abused in childhood sexually, and some kind of trauma is coming back for her or him. And Pluto is also sex and change and transformation, and you will need to talk about that trauma to overcome that kind of difficulties, physical difficulties between you. Yes. Okay. And Saturn in fourth house, it's kind of delay in buying or renovating your home or selling your home. So maybe there is not enough Mercury also retrograde in your eighth house. So like the paperwork didn't go through, I didn't get my loan, and that's why I can't buy right now, or I can sell, or I can't rent my home. All right, let's see, Sagittarius. Sagittarius is going to affect your 12th and your 6th. Let me see. Yes, 12th and your 6th house. 6th house is your health, so you will need to pay attention, a lot of attention for your health. It could be some kind of neurological issue, some kind of numbing or palsy on the, you know, like coming up, neurological issues. And, you know, 12th house is emotional blockages, fears. So Sagittarius rising, sun and moon, finally you will be capable to get rid of some kind of anxiety, or panic attack or emotional blockages. You're done with it. You work with it, the transformation is coming, and you're going to create some kind of health and healing in your life. This is in the 12th house, could read of like getting rid of nightmares. I mean, eclipse is bringing in nightmares, but the nightmares actually help you to heal kind of emotional situation in your life. So it's creating some kind of healing opportunity for you. Yes, healing opportunity. And then you have Saturn in the 3rd house and Mercury retrograde 7, so some kind of communication difficulties, some kind of delay in writing or in any kind of communication project, because Saturn gives you delays. You maybe need to, and this with the square, we need to pay attention for your anxiety and dreams, and you are not capable to write right now, or you're not capable to work on, workshops. 3rd house is internet. Saturn over there squaring with eclipse, it is like, oh, it could be cyber attack for you. For example, 3rd house is everything on internet, your YouTube channel, whatever. It could be a cyber attack here. And then it is also squaring with Algol and Sun here in your 6th house, and 6th house is your work. So you are not capable to work because that kind of cyber attack. You need to rebuild something. Yes, and then communication issue in partnership could represent, but later on it will be healed. The 5th house, you do have Jupiter and Venus. Oh my God, you are lucky. That could be lottery winning. It could be like some kind of investment actually for you, Sagittarius. It is coming in and it is like bountiful. It's like something you have bought a long time ago, and doesn't matter the inflation, it's not affecting you that way. And it's also beautiful time with your children, loving and beautiful and creative time with your children. So here you get blockage in creativity with writing and words. Maybe you have to, maybe it is only your computer is not working, but your children helps you to work with, you don't understand how to work with, YouTube or whatever, but your children are coming in and helping you to solve this issue. All right, let's see Capricorn. Capricorn, it's gonna go in your 1st house, Pluto, Saturn in 2nd, so that's financial. And the eclipse is your 11th and 5th house. The eclipse could actually eclipse out a friend for you guys. And it is also an investment. 11th house is money from career. So actually it's eclipsing out some kind of money, some kind of bonus. You're not gonna get the bonus right now, what you were waiting for. And because Saturn is in your 2nd house, it's giving you some kind of delay, financial issues, financial delay over there. Yes, so 3rd house, Mars and Neptune, it's kind of foggy communication and maybe even arrogant or insulting others because of, like mentally I'm not on the right place because of this kind of financial situation. 1st house Pluto, it could be some kind of surgery coming back to you, like you wanted to do a surgery, but I would not do that during the eclipse, so wait at least 2-3 weeks if it's elective. But if you have to, because it was an accident and then whatever, you need to. So that's life-threatening, you do. 4th house, you do have Venus and Jupiter, opportunity to buy a new home, opportunity to win a home, for example, or actually redesign, recreate, and make it really pleasant, luxurious, rich, and beautiful. The 5th house, your creativity and your children investments, so pay attention for your children, please. And Algol is there, so Algol could be like, like you, not every Capricorn, but pay attention who is around your children, because Algol have been raped. But Algol in Vedic, it is money, and 5th house in investments. Sun is, like it could be something like cryptocurrency coming into you, or actually, no, not coming in because it's an eclipse. You're gonna invest right now because crypto gonna go down, and you're gonna invest in electricity, cryptocurrency, or anything in security system. All right, let's see Aquarius. Aquarius, you're going to have 10th and and fourth house. Fourth house, so some kind of unexpected opportunity is coming back for you with house buying. But it could be actually like I'm going to do my house for smart house. I'm going to create a smart house. I'm gonna actually put a lot of security system because somehow I'm scared. And I'm gonna tell you why, yeah, you are, because I could be scared. Neptune and Jupiter, some kind of very beautiful time with my sibling, my younger sibling, with my friends. I'm very creative. I'm going to write or talk, or I do a workshop, or I'm gonna teach people, but it is not higher education. So it is like teaching astrology or teaching people. And Mars and Neptune. Neptune is oil, Mars is also investment, and Mars is also metal as well. But it could be like, you know what, I'm going to preserve my money from inflation, Neptune also inflation, if I'm going to actually invest in some kind of metal. Yes. Or oil. That could it mean, but 10th house, it's a career. It is like, you know what, I thought this is what I wanted in my life. That was my career for 20 years. And right now I'm ready to change. It's not serving me anymore. I don't want to be a teacher anymore. I need to move forward, you know, or I don't want to be a surgeon anymore. I want to be an investor. Something like a big, huge change, but you didn't even thought before that. So yes, okay. 12th house Pluto, it is like, you know, therapy. It is therapy because of, or it is also connection with the other world. So I'm going to be very, very intuitive, and I will be capable to connect with the other world as well. Mercury retrograde in your 5th house, so it could be like a creative project or an investment project, miscommunication over there. Like, you know, I wanted to invest and I gave the money for the lender or whatever, you know, wherever the broker, but they didn't put my money in. So that's, and also it could be like miscommunication with your children. So you have to redirect them over and over again. They don't listen, they don't want to listen, they don't understand you. All right. And last but not least, my dear Pisces. All right. So it's going to be your 9th and 3rd house. The eclipse and Pluto is in your 11th house. So your social circle is going through transformation. 12th house, you have actually Saturn in your 12th house. So there is actually a lot of mental struggle. It is 12th house, it's like Saturn, you know, in 12th. Working behind the scene. It could be working behind the scene, but very, very hard work. Actually, Mars and Neptune is in your 1st house, and Mars is very initiative and want to go and want to hurry up. But in Pisces, it's not that active. So it is like, oh my God, I have an urge to go. I know I'm capable to do so many things, but I'm still, the time is not ready. I'm not ready yet. The time is not there for me yet to do the changes. And Neptune in the 1st house could be something like I'm very dreamy, I'm very sluggish. I always want to sleep. I fall asleep even during running or something like that. But it's also like be careful with alcohol, because Neptune and Mars going to conjunct in your 1st house, so careful with prescription drugs, alcohol, and medication, any kind of medication. But the eclipse is going to happen in your 9th and in your 3rd house, you see. Your 3rd house is your siblings, younger siblings, communication. It is your neighborhood. Your neighborhood is changing. You can lose neighbors who you really loved, for example. Or, you know, like get new neighbors in, because actually the sun going to be over here, but Algol also going to conjunct. So careful what kind of neighbors you get. It could be like in the neighborhood, there is some kind of evil people moving in. And ninth house, it is older siblings. It is like, maybe I'm not gonna talk to my older sibling, or it could means like traveling plan. And I eclipse a traveling plan. I should have a long-term plan, you know, like a long-term traveling coming up, but it's eclipsing out. Somehow it's not granted for me at this moment, or it would not be beneficial for you. Maybe you're still going, but it's not necessarily beneficial, because some kind of danger could be present. Scorpio could be dangerous for, as I said, more danger, something with your colons, and yeah, but ninth house, yeah, it's not related, I'm sorry. Okay. It is actually sextiling with Pluto in 11. So Pluto in 11, it's transforming your friendship zone. It could be like some friends coming back who you didn't talk to a long time, but also some friends are leaving. And it could be because Pluto is death, it could be living through transition. And then it is actually creating a T-square with Saturn. So 9 and 12 house and 3 house. Okay, so that's communication and traveling abroad. Yes, traveling abroad. It could be like delayed for you. And also it could be anxiety, panic attack, joint issues, getting hospitalized because of some kind of, or therapy because of some kind of spine issue, joint issues here. And the square, that's why I cannot go for vacation. I cannot go for the trip I wanted to, because of, I do have some kind of physical structure issue. Or, you know, wheelchair was provided at the beginning, but they have shortage and they are not giving me during the traveling. So that's why I cannot attend the travel that I wanted. But short-term traveling will be supported for you. And second house, actually, you have Jupiter in Aries and Venus. It's beautiful. Income, it could be coming for you, and some kind of financial, the wallet gonna get bigger. You can get some kind of beautiful jewelry from a loved one. It could come from a foreign country. It is definitely, I would say, some kind of big jewelry, and your income is going to rise. All right, guys, so that was about the eclipse, and I would like you to remind all of you, if you're going to go for a protest, please be mindful. This eclipse is really heavy, and it's heavy for all of us. And I hoped I could help you. I would like to wish you a really happy month and week. And also, please take care of yourself and drink the remedies and try to create some kind of remedy in your home, as I mentioned before. And I see you next time. Bye.